Hi, this is Diarra White, and I'm here at the First Amendment Gallery at the museum in DC. And at this gallery, we're looking into the First Amendment and the rights that it has provided us and how that affects the journalism industry today.
Just like you told me, I told you I would stay.
I think that more information is pretty much always better. That there are a lot of ways that people can express themselves, and that the barrier to expressing yourself has dropped to almost zero, basically. In terms of getting the number of people you can reach. You can be a homeless person and have a blog. You can be out in the street and get your picture taken and have it be up on Twitter for 1.5 million people. I think that's almost always a good thing, but I also think that there's a constant tension between having a lot of information out there and having it make sense. I think that there's a problem right now in terms of organizing that information and in terms of making it into a narrative that everyone can understand, because actually Twitter is kind of a great example of how you get a lot of information and not much sense in artificial restriction at 140 characters, and in part because it's just the barrier to because you can post anything and people do post anything. I think that's actually the challenge for journalists moving forward, is to be the people that make sense of all of that information.
Uncomfortable that we're relying so much at TBD on iReporters or bloggers or even information that hasn't been vetted. If I get to I had an argument with my boss the other day about this. If I get to a scene and I haven't confirmed that this happened, I'm still kind of responsible for saying I am hearing that this is happening. Now, the responsibility lies with the journalist to a certain extent, but it also relies on the people who are reading and taking that information. If you're going to take that and say there is a sniper at the Home Depot shooting people, then that's just not true. But I'm saying that this is what I'm hearing because, like everyone says, the 24-hour news cycle, cable people are in a rush to get things out. It's a fairly broad amendment. So no, I'm not sure it's literally changing it. But I'm sure there are a lot of lawmakers who would disagree and see it in a different way. But I think the freedom of speech and the freedom of the press is basically that, and you do have a right. The question is, who's the press? That's changing. So, yeah.
On the internet now, particularly on blogs, is totally unedited. That's why I consider blogs not journalism. I realize this is heresy, but I can sit there with my computer and write whatever the hell I think and send it out there to you all, and you can say, wow, isn't that great? And I don't have to have one shred, not one iota of reporting, truth, or anything close to journalism to put that out. Blogging and reporting are getting blurred all the time. So if someone blogs something and you consider it to be true, it might be fine. If you read columns, there are some columnists who do a tremendous amount of research before they write what they think. And there are some columnists who do zero, none, zilch. And it's up to you, the reader, the consumer of the news. We in the news media are putting a hell of a lot of responsibility on you all that wasn't there before to discriminate between what's news and what isn't. My definition of real news is news that has been filtered, edited, considered, and reported, by which I mean I get this side of the story and I get that side of the story.
The five in the First Amendment? Okay.
Freedom of the press.
The freedom of press, freedom of speech, freedom of religion.
First there's press, freedom of speech, religion.
Freedom of assembly.
Freedom to assemble, is that the same one?
Wait, what's that one? Hold on, I forget it. Assembly.
Freedom of speech. How many is that?
Is that 4 or 5 or 3?
Freedom of religion.
Freedom Um,
I'm calling on the audience for this one. Petition. And the declaration.
I think I said 5.
Oh, I think you said them. Yeah.
Press, assembly, speech, religion, petition.
Okay, so in school we learned RAP. So it's religion, assembly, petition, press, and speech.
We're at the